Hello and welcome to another High Performance Leadership Masterclass. My name is Marq Neasman, and a huge shout out to you if you have been following along with the impact method. We are on the letter T. It's the final letter of the impact method. And just to catch you up, the impact method is an acronym that we utilize here inside of Marq Neasman Consulting, which is how we are able to consult organizations, both mid-sized and large, when it comes to transforming culture. And if this is a conversation that is going on in your war room or in your board meetings right now, then man, I'm so glad that you're leaning in, and I hope that this has been beneficial up to this point. So just to recap, the letter I is for identity. Studies show, history shows, research shows that typically a person's identity correlates directly to their behavior. And because as leaders, we cannot necessarily control what anyone does. We can't control people. It's best if we align our brand and our company with the identity of people we ideally want to attract to our organization. The letter M stands for mission. So not only should I know who I am, but I should know what it is that we're doing, right? The letter P stands for purpose, and purpose is exactly what it sounds like. It's why are we here? What is the meaning behind the work that we're doing or the direction we're going in? And the letter A represents an attitude of adaptability. Adaptability is one of the most prominent traits an individual can have. Why? Because the reality is change is inevitable. Things change regardless, whether it's in business, whether it's professional, or whether it's personal. Things change. Nothing remains the same. So having an ability to adapt, an attitude of adaptability, is vital for your sustenance and for your growth in any industry, no matter what it is. And then the letter C. Letter C stands for core values. Core values represent those beacons of light that serve as a direction in regard to what it is you say yes to and what it is you say no. As an individual, your core values dictate your decision making on a day-to-day basis. Understanding those and attracting people that align with them, building a culture around them, is vital to your sustenance. And then finally, today we'll be talking about the letter T. And the letter T stands for trust. Trust. That's right. Now, trust, it can be a lofty word, but what exactly is it? Well, we define trust around 3 words to be exact, and they all start with the letter T. The first word that we use to help define exactly what trust is the word truth. It's easy to trust people who speak truth. Now, while in most cases it's fairly difficult, honestly, to always be truthful, it is the most effective. It is the best way to get results inside of your organization and maintain those results inside of the organization. More than anything, more than liking, more than you need to be liked, your organization needs to respect and trust you as a leader. That is vital. We hold a lot of responsibility as executives, as VPs, as founders, as entrepreneurs, as stakeholders. We hold a lot of responsibility inside of an organization. And trust has to be the cornerstone of it all. The second word that we believe is empirical to this, the second word we believe is highly instrumental to the development of trust, is transparency. So there must be truth, but there also must be transparency. Truth can't be hidden in silos on the executive level or any level. Okay, it can't be marred by departments. It has to be free flowing and transparent. A simple way to go about doing this, to make sure that there is both truth and transparency, is making sure that your meetings are recorded. Making sure that all meetings are recorded and transcribe. This makes it impossible for people to not know what's going on at any given time within the organization. Typically, when silos happen, there is a reason behind it, and it usually leads to organizations lacking trust for one or other reason. There are three elements that make up what we call trust here in Marq Neasman Consulting. And of course, you can add or take away from it as you see fit, but I will take the time to go through those three. The first that is important to establishing trust within any culture is that of truth. Yes, truth has to be a cornerstone, a bedrock that is inside of your organization, not only for you as a leader, but for every individual. Remember, this concept of trust is built solely on your ability to win the buy-in of your staff, of your employees, of your associates. And if you cannot do this, if you cannot accomplish this, you will suffer from a high attrition rate. You will suffer from high turnover rates. And this will inevitably cost your organization a lot of money, quite frankly, time and effort to be included. The next letter that makes up this word trust is that of transparency. Yes, there must be truth and transparency inside of your organization. That means no executive silos. That means no departmental knowledge that can't flow freely throughout other components or other departments within the organization. When you have free flowing information that is based on truth and transparency, this now creates a beautiful model that helps to gain buy-in from your staff, employees, and associates on a fairly easy basis. So what's the difference between truth and transparency? Well, truth is just that. It's unfiltered information that accurately depicts a time in history. It's unfiltered information that accurately depicts a time in history. That's truth. Okay? Transparency is access to that information. All right? It's access to that information that is disseminated freely. Okay? So one talks about the actual resource, which is the information, and the clarity of that information, and the quality of that information. And transparency talks about, to some degree, the quantity that this information can be accessed, right? And these two elements work together cohesively to help build trust. And the last T that we mentioned that brings us all together is time. It takes time to build trust. There is no way around it. There is no way around it. In fact, there is a saying about trust. They say, trust is given in droplets, but it is lost in gallons. It's earned in droplets, but it is lost in gallons. And that's probably true for you the same way that it is for most people. Why? Because as humans, most of us tend to have filters up. We tend to develop filters over the course of time because life has a way of teaching us to guard ourselves, whether that be physically, emotionally, mentally. It doesn't matter. Most human beings tend to walk around with some degree of a guard until trust is earned, but it is only developed over the course of time. So when it comes to establishing trust within your organization, remember, there should always be truth, no matter how painful it is to display it. There should always be truth. There should always be a high degree of transparency. There should always be a high degree of transparency within your organization, and these should be accomplished over the course of time. A simple way to go about doing this practically is to ensure that all meetings are recorded and transcribed. Any meeting that is recorded and transcribed can be accessed within the company's database, and now no one is ever outside of the loop if they so desire to have that information, it's right there readily available to them. There are many other mechanisms and ways that you can go about doing this also, through different social platforms. You can also do it through your ERP system, which, depending on its capability, will give you access to vital information, both of individuals, departments, and of an organization as a total. But your ability to take KPIs and make them well known within the organization will only build trust, especially for new people coming in and for those who desire this to grow within the organization moving forward. And that, my fellow high performance leaders, is the letter T of the impact method: trust, and how to go about establishing it. Hey, if the impact method has been beneficial to you, if this has created a paradigm shift, if this has caused you to lean into and learn more about culture and how this applies to your organization, but you feel a bit stuck, I want to encourage you to reach out to our organization. Just click the link below and you will be directed to a website page where you can look into how we go about transforming cultures through the impact method a little bit more. And if you so desire, you'll be able to schedule a call with a executive advisor, and we can speak more about how to provide this solution for your organization specifically. And so with that said, thanks so much. I'm Marq Neasman. I appreciate your time. Thank you for your attention. And I hope that this has been impactful. Fix your crown and rule the day.